What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's Nefertiti, and I'm back with another video. Hey, hey. How y'all doing today? Hope you guys are having a blessed and wonderful day, whatever day this is, because right now it's at nighttime for me. However, so today I want to get into talking about listening to understand, not just listening to respond. Let's get into it. I know that so many of us experience this probably every day, or we have already experienced it in our life, where we're having a conversation with somebody and maybe sometimes they get offended. Maybe you're there, you're talking to them and they get offended because they're not really listening to understand. They're just listening to respond. You ever deal with someone like that? Or maybe you are like that. Maybe you're that person that you may always have something to say right after somebody says something to you, and you're not even taking the time to think about it and understand where they're coming from or what they're trying to say. You're just so quick to have a comeback. But I'm here to let you know, baby, that's not gonna go, baby. Hey, we gotta chill with that, baby. Hey, we gotta bring it back lately. Hey. Okay, I know it doesn't make sense. Don't worry about it. But listen, so we gotta chill with that because I'm a part of this community as well. There are times where I'll have a conversation with somebody, and before they can even finish their sentence, I'm already interrupting them. And not only am I interrupting them, I'm not listening to what they're saying. I'm hearing them. Yeah, I'm hearing them talk, but I'm not really listening to what they're saying. So I'm not listening to understand, so that way I can respond appropriately. I'm just ready to say something back. So we have to catch ourselves, especially when we're communicating with people. Listen, no matter what you do in life, no matter where you go in life, you're going to have to communicate. Unless you want to just sit in the house all your life and not be around nobody but your cats and your dogs, and you don't want to talk to no one, or you don't want to say much. Maybe, whatever, if you want to go live in a cave or under a rock, that's cool. But if you don't want to do those things, if you don't want to go live under a rock or in a cave, you have to understand that you're going to have to communicate. And when we communicate, we have to be willing to communicate effectively, because each person is different. So we have to come at each person differently. But when we are trying to be a person, we want to be the person that has an ear to hear. We want to be the person that when people say, hey, I got to talk to someone, but I know I can come to so-and-so because they're going to actually listen to what I'm saying. We have to be the type of person that listens to what people are saying. Take a moment. What are they saying? Respond to what they're saying. Don't do this where someone will tell you something about what's going on in their life, or something about themselves, and you come right back with something about you. Who's guilty of that? Like, how many of y'all? I mean, I've done it, and I do it so many times, but this is why I'm making this video, because I'm a part of this community. There's too many times where somebody will be talking to me, and I'll have something that's relatable to what they're saying. And instead of me responding to what they're saying, I go back and talk about myself. I'm like, oh, well, I did that before. Well, I know somebody, or my brother, or my sister, or my mom. It's always something about me. But here's what we should do. When a person's talking to us about them, no matter what it is, they can be talking about their new job, or maybe their boyfriend or their kids, whatever they're talking about at that moment. Really just take a deep breath, because I know you're ready to just jump in there and interrupt them. Don't do it. No, wait, don't do it. Just let them talk. Listen to what they're saying. Really listen, and respond to their conversation. Not make your own conversation about yourself. Respond to what they're talking about. So if they're talking about their kids, respond to it. If they're telling you something that's going on and maybe they need to just vent, respond to what they're talking about. Because when you do that, you're showing a person that you're really listening to them, and that you are not just letting it go in one ear out the other. You're really having an ear to hear to what they have to say, and that you care about what they're talking about. Because I will let you know this, a lot of people will feel like you do not care about what they're talking about if you interrupt them, if you have a rebuttal every time they talk, if you always make it about you when they're trying to talk about them. we want to be effective communicators, and we want to be the type of people that can communicate with all types of people. And people may not want to talk to you sometimes if you're the type of person that always interrupts them or always makes it about you and that doesn't really listen. And then another thing is this: we really have to listen effectively, because sometimes people are going through some things. And I know there's times where you probably be like, I don't want to listen to all that drama, or I don't want to sit here and hear a sob story. But there are times where people are going to need to come to you. That's just it. Like, you may be maybe you're somebody that people can talk to. You're going to be it. There's going to be a time in your life where someone's going to come to you about something that they're going through or something that they went through, and they just need to vent. And they should feel comfortable in that space. You don't want to make a person feel uncomfortable where they shut down and they don't want to open up. Because sometimes that's what a person needs, is just to open up for that moment. Sometimes a person literally just needs to vent. You don't always have to have a response. You don't always have to tell them which way to go, what they need to do. Literally, sometimes they just need someone who's listening and that actually cares. And you hear that saying, what goes around comes around. How you treat people is how you're going to be treated. So if you are making sure you're listening to people to understand them, and you're caring about what they're saying, and you're interacting in conversation about what they're talking about, that will be reciprocated to you, maybe from them or from somebody else. If you ever find yourself being interrupted all the time, if you ever find yourself talking to people who don't really care about what you got to say, they kind of listening, but they're really not listening, if you find yourself dealing with people who, listen to just respond, okay? If you're going through that, you have to check yourself and ask yourself, like, do I do that to people? Do I interrupt them? Do I not engage in conversation? Do I just let it go in one ear out the other? How are you communicating with people, right? So before we be so upset that people ain't listening to us and they so quick to have something to say without even understanding what we're saying, we need to make sure we check ourselves and make sure that when we're communicating with people, that we're effectively communicating, that we're listening, that we're actually listening to what they got to say. Because you'd be surprised what you can learn from a person if you just be quiet. Shh, hush, keep on low, hush, hush. You don't always have to have a rebuttal, And then especially, when we're in arguments, right? When we're arguing with people, we're so quick to have something to say. We're so quick to just say something fast that we're not even listening to what they're saying. I believe a lot of arguments can be simmered down if people that's in the argument would listen to each other. So here's the problem. The reason why people don't listen to each other is because they're mad, right? They're angry. And this person wants to get what they have to say out off their chest. And this person wants to get what they have to say off their chest, right? But here's the thing. Somebody has to be quiet while the other person's talking. But we don't want to do that, because when we're mad, we're all riled up and we just want to, two people yelling at each other. And guess what? Nothing gets anywhere. And then all you hear is a word over here or a word over there, and you're not really listening to what they're saying. You might hear one word, and you might think that they're insulting you, and all they're doing is talking, and they're not insulting you because you're not listening. So even when you're in arguments, try your best. I know it's not easy. I know it's easier said than done, but try your best to, like, when a person's, when you in an argument or a disagreement, let that person talk. Okay, be the bigger person. Okay, let them talk. Listen to what they're saying. If you find yourself being way too angry to do that, wait to have this conversation. Don't even argue. Like, wait to have this conversation. Wait till everything simmers down. Go for your walk. Go pray and ask God to give you peace. Whatever it is that you need to do, just give yourself a moment. Give yourself a couple moments, whatever, 15 minutes, whatever. Calm down first. Because if you're arguing and no one's getting nowhere and you guys are just both yelling at each other, guess what? You're not solving the problem. So somebody has to be the bigger person, and I encourage you to do it. Be the bigger person. Be the bigger person and take the time to yourself, calm down. Once you calm down, y'all come back together and y'all are able to talk or whatever. Listen to what they're saying. Don't just listen so you can have something quick to say back and smart to say back, ladies, because y'all know y'all be doing it. Y'all be ready to have something to say right after they say something. No, listen to what they're saying. Understand where they're coming from. And if you don't understand where they're coming from, ask them. Okay, what did you mean when you said this? Or what did you mean by that when you went about it? You know, you have to ask these questions. Guys, communication is key. I know it's cliche, and you probably hear it all the time. But communication truly is key. This is how we solve problems. This is how we overcome barriers, is when we communicate. So listen to, you know, in an argument, in a disagreement, listen to what they're saying. Have an understanding. And then once you understand what they're saying, now you can respond. Now it's their turn to listen to you, understand what you're saying, take it in. It's kind of like when you eating, right? You ever eat your favorite food and you just taking your time eating because it's so good. It's just so good. You biting it slowly so you can taste it. So you can really taste it and really let it get in your belly, you know, like really let it digest, right? Because, you know, you love this food. So you're allowing yourself to smell it. You're allowing yourself to taste it, and you're allowing it to digest in your body, right? So with that being said, that's the same way with food, with speaking. When people are speaking to you, allow yourself to digest it. Allow yourself to listen. Break it down. You know, make sure you try your best to understand before you respond. All right, that's all I have for y'all. I'm just here to let you know, to remind you that we need to have an ear to hear, right? Listen to understand. Not just listen to respond. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Be sure to join my other team. I have a reaction channel. On that channel, if you guys have any, you know, ideas or any videos that you guys want me to react to, or stories like criminal stories that you want me to cover, let a sister know, all right? God bless you guys. Make sure you guys stay tuned, and make sure you guys subscribe. I love y'all. Stay tuned. Bye.